Hello everyone, welcome to my live session. How are you doing? I'm Adeola Adeyemi. I'm a mental fitness coach, a psychiatrist, and the founder of Talk Mental Health. So I welcome everyone to my live session today. Hi Favor, thank you for joining. Please tell me your name and where you're joining from. Tell me your name and where you're joining from. Thank you for joining my live session today. Let me know your name and where you're joining from, okay? I can see Zella. Thank you for joining. Hi, Oyinda. Thank you for joining. So I'm trying to type the topic in the comment box. So let me know your name and where you're joining from. Thank you. Okay. So today we're going to be speaking on creating a healthy work-life balance. Creating a healthy work-life balance. So I'm waiting for more people to join. How's been your day? Tell me, how has been your day? I hope you had a great Tuesday. We are coming to the end of the month gradually. Today is the 30th of August. And we're about to enter the Ember month. So once you enter the Ember month, you know that Christmas is coming. That favorite season of the year is coming. So I hope we are doing well mentally. 2022 is about to come to an end. I hope we're fine. I hope everything has been good to us. Good for us. I hope all our goals, our desires for 2022, we've been able to achieve them. I hope we're not mentally stressed. It's very important to reflect on these things and perhaps start to re-strategize as we enter the Ember month. Hi, Cake Creations. Thank you for joining. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. I want to know if you're able to hear me, if the connection is good enough. So today our topic would be creating a healthy work-life balance. How many of us have a job currently? Do we have a job? Do we have what we're doing? So your job could be a 9-to-5 job, or maybe a job as an entrepreneur. So you can have your own job, your own business, or you working for someone. So that's your 9-to-5 job. Whatever it is you're doing, it's a job. So if it's your business, if it's a career building, it's still your job. So tell me if you have a job currently, if there's something you're doing, tell me yes, yes, yes. And if you don't have anything you're doing at the moment, say no, no, no. Thank you for joining, Wumi. So tell me, I want to know how many people that are on this live that are currently working. Let me know if you're working. If you're on this live and you're working, let me know. Let me know. And also let me know if you can hear me. It's very important before I start teaching on how to create a healthy work-life balance. Okay? Let me know. Vicky, thank you for joining. Wumi, thank you for joining. Okay? So, as a mental fitness coach, I encourage people to be proactive about their mental well-being. So, I am an advocate of being mentally healthy because I believe every one of us, we have a mental health. So you don't have to wait till you break down. Thank you, Vicky, for letting me know. You don't have to wait till you break down before you do something about your mental well-being. You can as well be proactive. You can as well do things to prevent mental health breakdown. And that's what I do as a mental fitness coach. As a psychiatrist, I treat people who already have mental health problems. So if you are dealing with depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, those are the psychotic disorders, schizophrenia, substance abuse, or any kind of mental health problems, I'm able to treat that. I'm an expert in that. So I'm a psychiatrist. I'm also a psychotherapist. So I give therapy sessions to people who need them. Today we're going to be dealing with talking about creating a healthy work-life balance. I understand that sometimes it can be very difficult to create a work-life balance. We struggle to do that, especially if you have a family. Even if you don't have a family, if it's just about you, sometimes people that are still single, that don't have family, they are engrossed in their work. So more like they work even more. So your work is meant to be from 9 to 5 for those who have jobs, who are career people. So you work 9 to 5, but you find out that when you get home, you're still attending to some emails, you're perhaps speaking to your boss, carrying some work home. How many people have ever carried work to their homes? Have you ever had to take your work home before? You're not working remotely. It's not as if you're asked to work from home. So you finished your work, you finished your job for the day at work, and then you come back home to continue. Has that ever happened to you? It has happened to me several times. It's still happening. So tell me, let me know if you've ever experienced that before, that you had to, continue working from home. I mean, after you finished your work at work, your job at work, and you have to come home. I'm taking one right. See, the teacher just said that she's taking one right now. You see? So this is like the common practice for every one of us. We find ourselves taking our jobs from work and continuing them at home, which is not supposed to be. But for one reason or the other, we find ourselves doing it, perhaps because we have deadlines, or we have things we need to do. We have perhaps during our work, we're unable to finish. We just need to get it done. Sometimes it might just be because of some of our own personal traits. Perhaps if you're a perfectionist, you just want to get things done the way you want it, and it takes your time. You're perhaps slower, and you take more time to get things done. So all of these things make it difficult for us to create a work-life balance. So let's now talk about my people that are married with children. You have a family. You're not single, but you have a family. You have to cater to your children, to take care of your children, take care of your husband or your wife, your family. So it becomes even a lot more demanding for you to balance life, balance work, balance career, and balance your family as well. So that's why one of the reasons I thought to come on live to share how we can create a healthy work-life balance. From research, it's been shown that people are getting burnt out a lot because of stress from work. A lot of people complain that they feel tired, exhausted, and fatigued. A lot of people complain of backache. Some people are not motivated, all symptoms of burnout. And this is because there's no healthy work-life balance. So if you don't have that healthy work-life balance, you find out that you start feeling stressed physically. Your visit to a doctor increases. Even if you don't visit the doctors, you realize that you start to, use painkillers, you use paracetamol because you're always feeling tired and exhausted, you're not sleeping well, so those are signs that shows that there is a problem with that balance between work and your personal life, so to speak. So it's important for us to pay attention and be sensitive to these things. Sometimes some of us will just continue to live our lives like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Everybody is facing it. Thank God I have a job. Let me not complain. So let me continue to push. But hey, whether you like it or not, it's affecting you. It's affecting you mentally. It's affecting you physically. And it's only a matter of time. You might break down. So I've had cases of people who had depression because they continue to push. They were pushing themselves. They were, putting a lot of effort into their work. They weren't taking enough breaks and all. And they broke down mentally. They didn't just break down physically. They had depression. So the work that they've always, stay committed to, they had to stay off work because of that mental health problem. So my point is that if you don't take breaks when you're supposed to take it, I hope that the nature, your mental health would not force you to take a break when it breaks down. Let me say that again. If you don't take breaks when you ought to, your mental health, your brain, your mind, every part of your body might just shut down and force you to take break. But that would not even be at the cost of your well-being, because you would then fall ill and would have to be on the sick bed just to recuperate and recover from the illness. That shouldn't be. We don't have to wait till we have physical health problems or mental health problems before we take breaks. It's important for us to be able to create a healthy work-life balance. Whether you continue to force yourself to work or not, if anything happens to you today, there will definitely be another person that will fill in your gap. That gap, immediately you leave that work, another person comes in immediately. Am I making sense? Is anyone following me? Because that is the truth. That's the reality. I've seen it happen times without number. It's still happening. So once you say you want to resign from your job, another person a lot of people are on the queue for that same job. So you don't ever think that nobody can do my job, or I'm feeling guilty, I don't want to leave them alone, I need to attend to them, because those are the kind of excuses I get from people. I feel guilty, I don't want to take my leave now because, if I do, I'm going to leave I won't be able to do my job. Nobody will do a lot of people will do your job for you. Like, a lot of people can do even better than you are doing right now. And the best thing you can ever do to yourself is to ensure you take breaks. Make sure you incorporate breaks into your everyday life. That's how to create healthy work-life balance. So let me just tell you how you know that your work-life balance is faulty, is unhealthy. So here is how to know when you have some symptoms of stress. So it could be physical symptoms. So you're always tired, exhausted, you have fatigue, you're always having headaches. Sometimes it might come in form of malaria symptoms because your immunity has dropped. So once your immunity drops, then you might be prone to coming down with some infection like malaria, diarrhea, any kind of infection. It could be stress. It could be related to your work because you're so engrossed in work and all. Physical symptoms like that. Mental symptoms, or let me say cognitive symptoms, like being forgetful. So if you go on my page, there's this pinned post on Brain Breaks, I think, so where I explained some symptoms about having problems with your brain and all. So if you're not following me, if you're on this live and you're not following me, you're watching the replay, make sure you follow me at talkmental.health right now, and you see my posts, you see my reels, the ones I pinned. You see a lot of information about getting exhausted, brain breaks, signs and symptoms of stress and all of that. So I put it all there, you see it. So these are things that you would notice: getting fatigued, having memory problem, brain fog, being forgetful. You're trying to remember things, you put things in a place and you can't find them. So those are signs that you're stressed. And it's okay to be stressed, but when it becomes chronic, then there's a problem. So let's say it's just a one-off thing. Perhaps after a very long day or a very busy week, you're stressed. Then it's okay. You recover after a few days and you're back to your normal self. But if this is consistent, it's just there for a very long time, then there's a problem, because it leads to you becoming irritable. You get tired and exhausted. You might not even be able to sleep well. And when you're not sleeping well, lack of sleep will lead to a lot of emotional imbalances in you. You're irritable, you're forgetful, you perhaps socially withdrawn. You can find out sometimes some people, when they are stressed, that's when they overeat. So you find yourself craving for sugary things because you're stressed, you're nappy, their mood is just all over the place and all of that. It is important to pay attention to this thing. It is not normal. Stop thinking that, I need to do all I can to sustain this job. I understand that getting a job is not easy. But at the same time, it shouldn't be at the expense of your mental well-being. Anything that you do that affects or impacts your mental well-being negatively is too expensive. It's not worth it. I'm just trying to let you know it's the fact. It's not worth it. I know you need money. I know you need to make money. I know all of those ones are important. But hey, if you fall ill, if you have mental health problem like depression, anxiety, how do you think the money, the salary you're earning right now, do you think that would be enough to cater to all your mental health needs? So you have to be able to create that balance. You have to, whatever it is you're doing that is affecting your mental well-being negatively, whatever it is, then it's too expensive, even if it is a job. So I've had cases of people telling me that, their boss is not quite so supportive. The pressure is too much from their boss to deliver and all of that. The boss is always complaining about them, saying stuffs about them that it's not encouraging and all of that. You have to, weigh it. You balance it, the pros and cons of staying in that negative environment. So is it worth it? The salary you're being paid, is it worth it? I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not worth, because if you're depressed, depression is a chronic mental health problem. So once you have that diagnosis of depression, you have to, be reviewed by a psychiatrist, which doesn't come cheap. It doesn't come cheap to go through therapy. You have to be on medications for a very long time. These are things you need to start thinking about. Is it worth it? So I'm being paid this amount. I don't want to lose my job. I understand. But is it really worth being in this negative environment? Is what I'm doing, or where I am right now, the kind of job I have now, is it worth, stressing myself so much? Because once you're unable to, meet those deadlines and be productive at work, you know what would happen? Another person is ready to take your place. That's just the truth. So you have to always think about this. What is important? So I've explained the signs of stress, the symptoms of stress. Pay attention to your body. If something off, these are ways in which you know that something is off: when you're stressed, when you're always tired, fatigued, and all those other things that I have mentioned. I've seen a lot of people join me. Thank you all for joining. Make sure you stay till the end of this session. All right. So I'm going to talk about how you can create a work-life balance. I'll just dive into it. If you know me well, you know that I love to use acronyms. So if you've always followed me and you've watched my live sessions, you know that I always use acronyms. So I'm going to use acronyms again today to explain how you can create work-life balance. And my acronym is going to be 5 Ps. So I'm using 5 Ps to explain how to create work-life balance. The first P is for you to pause. You have to take a pause. So what does that mean? Sometimes we just continue to work. We operate on autopilot. So what we do is we wake up in the morning, get dressed, and we go to work, and then we come back home, sleep. Following morning, we do that. Even during the weekends that we were supposed to rest, we want to tidy up our room, clean everywhere. For some of us that are ladies, we go to the salon to make our hair. And if you now have kids, that is extra stress. So you have to take care of your children, sort them out. They have homeworks. They want to, go for their extra curricular activities and all of that. So you really don't have time to sit down and reflect on how you were doing. Is everything okay with me? And that's why I'm saying pause. The first thing you need to do is pause. How often do you have to pause? You don't have to wait till something huge happens to you before you pause and reflect on how you're doing. Creating 5 to 10 minutes a day to think about how your day has been can be very helpful. It's insightful. It helps you to understand what's been going on with you. If you're making everything is making sense with you, and you're able to re-strategize if there's need for it. But if you continue to live life on autopilot, wake up and go to work, come back, wake up, and that cycle continues. Especially for those that are on this life that live in Lagos, where there is traffic, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be burnt out. Whether you like it or not, it's going to get to a point where you get exhausted, tired, and you're unable to even think about what you're doing. So you just continue to work on autopilot. You already know what you do at work, and you're not really processing the things. You're not enjoying what you're doing. You're not being mindful. You don't feel fulfilled. So the first way to create work-life balance is by reflecting. You have to learn to pause. Take a pause every day. So let me just say that sometimes, now that I'm saying it now, it might be difficult to take all of that in. So you can decide to choose one to take a pause, maybe once in a week. Start small and you build it gradually. So you can do once in a week and then increase it to twice in a week. But all I need for you to do is just 5 minutes of reflection every day, 5 to 10 minutes. So who's on this live that will be trying that? Let me know if you're going to do that. Say, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Reflection is amazing. It helps to make you more self-aware, increases your self-awareness. So put on this in the comment box if you will be trying that this week. Say, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. So I need more feedback, guys. More feedback, more feedback. Okay, so that's the first thing to do. You take a pause. Take a pause. And the second P represent paying attention to your feelings. So you learn to pay attention to how you feel. Thank you, Funke, for that comment. How do you feel about this? Yeah, thank you, Vicky. Yes, I will. Amazing. How do you feel? Pay attention to your feeling. You've taken a pause and you've realized that, oh, my day didn't go really well. That's a feeling. Pay attention to it. Or you reflected. After reflecting, you realize that, oh, my day was amazing today. Pay attention to it. Because whatever it is works well, whatever it is that worked well with you today is what you want to continue to do. And if something went wrong or something has gone wrong with you today, you want to avoid or perhaps think through it and see how to prevent that thing from happening. So the second point is for you to pay attention to how you feel about what has happened to you, in a day. So whenever you reflect, the first thing is pause and you've reflected. The second is to now pay attention to how you feel about that. Your emotions is very important. Second P, pay attention to your emotions. So we're going to try it too. So we are taking a pause and we are paying attention to our emotions at the same time. So we're going to try that. Say, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I want you to put in the comment box, because if you keep listening to me, and you don't practice what I preach, maybe I'm a preacher, I don't know, and you don't practice what I preach, you ain't going to see any change. So it's just going to be like it's entering your right ears and coming out from your left ears. If you know that thing, and we need to say it in when I was young, said, what it means is that the word is entering through your right ears and coming out from your left ears. But you have to practice. And that's why I'm asking. Those two things I just taught us now, pause and paying attention to your emotions. Who is going to try it to this week? Say, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Oh, thank you very much, Langade, for saying this. I will teach my children the same. Amazing, fantastic. Thank you. So the third thing we need to do to be able to create a work-life balance, a healthy work-life balance, is to prioritize, reprioritize. I'm actually using the acronym P, 5 Ps. So it's actually reprioritize. So you need to reprioritize. What are the most important things in your life? What's valuable to you? You have to identify your value. So is it work? If it's work, fine, then give more time to your work. Is it your family? If it's your family, then give more time to your family. Is it your personal life? Is it your relationship? Whatever it is, whatever makes sense to you is what makes sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to any other person, because it's all about you. It's all about your life, and you have to know what makes sense to you. Prioritize, reprioritize. It's very important. Once you've taken a pause and you've paid attention to how you feel about the thing, then you have to reprioritize. So if anything is wrong, re-strategize, rearrange it, and know how to schedule your time. Sometimes we have to learn how to manage our time. There are so many things that take our attention without knowing it. One of the things is social media. Who can bear witness with me? Who can relate? Sometimes when you go on the social media, for some of us that perhaps post content on the social media, you just want to post and then dash out. But you find yourself surfing the net, checking people's posts. And before you know it, 1 hour has gone, 2 hours have gone. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Before you know it, you find yourself, you've spent a lot of time just scrolling through people's pictures and getting carried away, busy doing nothing. It's very important for us to, try to manage our social media use. It's important because studies have shown that the use of social media can cause depression. It's been associated with depression, with anxiety, with even sleep disorders, because many a times we use the social media and we don't get enough rest. So sometimes it's not even about your work. It's not even your work that is causing the problem. It's actually how you manage your time. Many a times we're at work, we're not really doing the work we're meant to do. And we find ourselves surfing the net, checking pictures and a lot of stuff on the social media. And before you know it, time has gone and you have to still get things done. That's why we actually bring the work home. So we end up getting stressed and exhausted. We need to learn how to manage our time. Whatever it is that it's not important and urgent, we don't have to do it now. So if it is not important and urgent, it doesn't need to be done right now. So anything that is important and urgent, those are the things you should be able to, you should do right now. So if it is important but not urgent, you create time to do it. If it is not urgent and if it's not important, you need to delete it. Like social media use, it's not important, it's not urgent. Just delete that from your list and try to manage how you use your time or spend your time surfing the net and checking stuff on the social media. All right. So the fourth thing that I would like us to, the fourth point I'm going to raise today. Remember, I'm discussing how you can create a work-life balance, and I'm using the acronym 5Ps to explain this. So I've spoken about pause, taking a pause, paying attention to your emotions, and the third thing I said was for us to reprioritize. The fourth point is to let go of perfectionism. Let go of perfectionism. So a lot of us struggle with being perfect, trying to do things in a particular way. We have these ideas in our minds that no one else can do it better than us. Hence, we put in a lot of our efforts, our attention, our time into doing things, and we end up getting stressed and exhausted. So I want us to know that I want you all, if you're on this live or you're watching the replay, whether on Instagram or my YouTube channel, I need you to understand that perfectionism is a waste of time, pure waste of your time. I ain't saying you should not try to strive towards becoming excellent. It's good to be excellent, to try to do things the right way. But when you stay and keep thinking and trying to, organize things, make sure it's the best and all, struggling to make things perfect, it slows you down. It slows you down. It makes you feel that you have not done it well. It makes you criticize yourself over and over again. You end up feeling stressed. You end up feeling low in yourself as well. Like you're not good enough if care is not taken. So we need to let go of perfectionism. I know it's difficult for some of us that are perfectionists. Because how can you tell me, Dr. Adeola, to let go of perfection? I can't cope. You get what I mean? But it's possible. It's doable. I don't believe there's any habit you cannot unlearn. You can unlearn and relearn any habits. Your brain can be rewired. So there's nothing like you cannot change. There's nothing like you cannot get better. You just have to continue to practice and keep practicing. Let go of perfectionism. That's where you're able to create a healthy work-life balance. Sometimes we sit at work trying to, do so many things, trying to pay attention to so much details. We're so meticulous. I ain't saying it's not bad, but when it's in the way of your mental well-being, when it's not allowing you to sleep well, when it's not allowing you to even take time to go on break, your lunch break, you're not going for your lunch break because you want things to be done in a particular way, you can't even delegate and ask for help, then you know there's a problem. There is a problem. So let go of perfectionism. If you're struggling, come to Dr. Adeola. If you're struggling to let go, come to me. I can help you. Come to me. You get what I mean? So the fourth point is let go of perfectionism. So we are talking about how we can create a healthy work-life balance. Meanwhile, if you have any question, please put in the comment box. I'm happy to answer all your questions, and I'm going to read your comments soon. Okay, I'm going to talk about the last point today, and that's people pleasing. People pleasing. So we need to let go of people pleasing. People pleasing is an unhealthy habit. It is unhealthy. It is mentally exhausting. It is tiring. In fact, I think people pleasing stem from the fact that we don't even love ourselves. Because if you love yourself, you won't be forced or pressured into pleasing people. I understand that sometimes when you're at work, you have to be able to put in your best and show your boss that you are capable. That's okay, to an extent, especially if you're able to, balance it. You know that once your work time ends, you leave the work at work, you leave your job at work, and you continue the next day. That's fine. But when you go extra mile trying to, please your boss, please everyone around you, please this person, you don't want them to feel bad, then you need to check yourself. You perhaps don't love yourself enough, because if you do, you won't do anything that would be against your mental and emotional well-being. People pleasing is exhausting. It is. And I don't know if there's anyone on this live who can relate with what I'm saying. It is exhausting. And it is important for us to learn how to establish healthy boundaries. Work boundaries. Know that when you're at home, you could perhaps turn off your email notifications. You don't attend to anything that has to do with work or work related until you're back at work the following day. Many a times we leave it on and we still keep getting the notification. We're tempted to respond to people, to our work, our bosses, and all of that. And this is eating into our own family time or our personal time we're supposed to, take good care of ourselves or even relax and even sleep. It's important for us to be intentional about doing these things. Let go of people pleasing if you want to create a healthy work life. It's important. So if you are on this live and you have any question for me, kindly put in the comment box. Meanwhile, I'm going to just read what Langade Colonial Healing has just said. So you said perhaps we could also try and heal from the underlying roots of perfectionism, which often stem from childhood wounding. Yes, you are correct. So I was talking about things that we need to let go to be able to create a healthy work-life balance. And that's perfectionism. So sometimes the reason why we are perfection, or some people have perfectionist traits, is because of some childhood traumas they've been through. So in a way to prove, if I may use the word, prove that I am good enough, just because someone I've been traumatized by some words spoken to me during my childhood, I try to do good or do my best, putting a lot of effort, trying to be perfect, proving to the whole world that I am good. So when you notice that this is what you're going through, then you need to heal from that childhood trauma. I think I spoke a lot about I spoke in length about healing from childhood trauma. I think, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? You can check my IGTV for that video. You see where I spoke about how to heal from your childhood trauma. I can't remember what the title was, but I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Just check my IGTV. You'll see the video. So yes, you're right to say that. We need to, when we sit down and reflect on why we do some of the things we do, we get more insight on some of these things, and we're able to correct them or re-strategize, reprioritize, or do anything that would help us live a healthy, well-balanced life. I don't know if any other person has questions or comments. I'm about to round up the live session. I can see more people are joining now. Thank you for joining. I've said so much today. Please watch the replay. Go and watch the replay and leave your comments, your questions, and your feedback in my comment section when I put it on my IGTV. Do you have any question for me? Any questions? Any comments? By the way, If you don't know me, I'm Adiola Adeyemi. A psychiatrist and a mental fitness coach. I'm the founder of Talk Mental Health. So if you need my help when it comes to, taking care of people with mental health problems, depression, anxiety, and any kind of mental health problems, I'm happy to help with that. I offer psychotherapy sessions as well. And if you also need me to coach you to be mentally okay, so what I do as a mental fitness coach is to teach skills that will help you to be proactive about your mental well-being. So I offer coaching services as well. And then my book, You Deserve Bliss, is a must buy for everyone on this life. It has a lot of tips on how to prioritize self-care. So if you have not got the book, go to the link in my bio and pre-order for just $10. So thank you everyone for listening to me and for staying till the end. Okay, so Langade Colonial Healing said, great life, thanks for sharing your wisdom. It is my pleasure. Oh, not yet on Amazon. The book is not yet on Amazon. It should be soon. All right, but you can reach out to me via my DM. I don't know where you're joining from. We can deliver to you if that's okay, depending on where you are. Thank you everyone. So that will be all for today. Don't forget to always be intentional about your mental health. Bye.